Okay, so who can tell me what the next thing in the project prompt that might relate to what we're doing right now at the site?
The direction of the building.
Okay, the direction of the building, that's important because as you place the building, it's got to be rotated so that it's exactly perpendicular to the north, south, east, west axes. So that's a very good point because I really didn't expand upon that. And you have to use this tool is what you use to tell if something is exactly perpendicular. And you'll notice that the way that I'm using the tool is I'm lining up the line with the edge of the building, and I know that the building is perpendicular. And that's an important thing for you guys to learn to start to do. Do not just put your straight edge out on the thing and expect to be able to estimate something. Use the lines and be precise with them. Okay? All right, so we've done that. That wasn't what I was looking for, though, but I'll take that one. All right, so you get the bonus points. Ding, 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 ding. All right, so now what's the next thing?
Door.
Decide where is the entrance.
Entrance. Is that what you were going to say? What were you going to say?
Draw the property line.
It's sort of already there, but that you could draw the property line. But the next step in working on the site design in relation to the object that we're making, right, is the entry porch. Not the door, the porch. Okay? Now, I want to make sure that I explain this to you guys about how design is continually making adjustments. So you evaluate a condition, right? And you come up with an assumption and you generate something. So many of you looked at this and said, I got to put it somewhere. I got to either be hidden or visible. So I'm going to put it here. And right here, it is perpendicular and it's completely hidden from the parking lot. You guys made that assumption. Now we're being asked to create a porch, okay? And in addition to the porch, all right, in addition to being asked to design where the porch goes, you are also going to be asked to pick one of 3 access points for the building, or for the site. So I'm going to get a different colored marker. I think there was a red one. I might have it in my pocket. Yes, red. So I'm going to, just so that you guys can clearly see this, I'm going to show you where the rock walls are. And the rock walls are about this tall. So they're like piled up stone walls, right? Not exactly Stonehenge, but sort of like that. So one of them is here. So that's a stone wall. And you guys might have done this already as part of your site analysis. So there's a stone wall, all right? Here's another one. It looks like the path is walking in between the stone walls, to me. So that whole thing is another one of the stone walls. And there's one more, it's right here. There is my other stone wall. So what these stone walls are doing is they are telling you that really to get onto this property, right, there's only really 3 ways into it. The first way in is by building stairs here. So we'll call this approach number 1. And in order to do this one, you got to build stairs going up that slope. So when you look at the model, you'll see that if you're standing here, you can't see up there. Okay? And that's not a problem. You can just say, well, I'm building stairs there. Approach number 2 is at this gap that exists here between these 2 walls. So this one is number 2. Okay? And then approach number 3 is this one over here. Okay? Does that make sense? So this one kind of establishes an axis, a line that is your line of sight, because the path leading up to here is dead straight, right? And so your approach axis to whatever you're getting to on the building is going to be straight on from this line. This one, you have some flexibility because you can enter the site and then head towards your building. This one over here is different than these two in that when you're walking along the trail right here, there is a straight line segment there that is between the rock walls that essentially from, let me draw it in a different color, from about here to about here, it's a straight segment. And so if you think about what you see when you're walking between these two walls that are about this tall and you're walking straight ahead, that forms a visual axis. And so for that, we might want to draw that visual axis. And so I'm going to go ahead and take my marker and draw the visual axes. Okay, so there's one. The other one's right here, and then this is the third one. Now, Miriam very correctly pointed out that the next thing, and Fabian sort of alluded to it, that the next thing that we have to decide is where to put the entry porch. Like when you come to this building for the first time, you're looking for the entrance, right? It's a common thing in buildings. Have you guys ever gone to someone's house where it's hard to find the front door? Or is it usually pretty easy to find the front door? Usually easy, but there are houses, particularly houses that were built back in the 50s and 60s, where they purposely kind of put the door in a hidden location. Frank Lloyd Wright was sort of famous for doing that. Okay? All right, so the point I was trying to make is that you've made a decision, and maybe you put the building here, and you want it hidden from sight, right? This is an important part of design. With each new piece of information, it's going to ask you to, you're going to have to ask yourself to reconsider what you've done. So let's say that I choose access point 3, and I'm putting my building here, and it has to face, the entrance has to face which direction? Has to face east. It's in the document. So does this make sense where I put the building? If my entrance is over here, but I'm going to enter back here, wouldn't it be better if I move the building way back here, and then when I'm walking down that line, I can see the entrance? I don't have to kind of walk to the side wall and go, where's the entrance, and walk around it? See, I made an initial assumption that I'm going to put it there, but then when more information came to me, I said, no, you know what, I think I'm going to move it back here so that when I'm walking down, I see the entrance. Okay? So the two things are now informing each other. Likewise, say you put the building here, right? So you put it like, say there, because you want it to be visible from below. But your entrance has to face east. Now what? Do you guys remember this? So imagine that this is the entrance that faces east, and this other thing is a side porch that brings you around to the entrance. So the side porch is an extension of the entry. So this is one of the ways that you can deal with it if you choose to come in on this side. Okay? If you choose to come in area number 2, then, you kind of know that it's got to be somewhere, on the east face of the building. There's one other thing. I'm going to see if any of you caught it in regards to the requirements for the entry porch. What else? There was something specific about the entry porch that you have to do. Huh? There you go, right there. So you have to look at the project prompt, and you'll see that it says the entrance has to face east, and it has to be on either this corner or this corner. It can't be in the middle. Okay? And so I'm walking you through the project prompt. A couple weeks ago or a week ago, I asked you guys to take the project prompt home and analyze it, right? And you guys probably read through it, and you didn't know what you were looking for. I'm guessing, right? Because, you guys haven't gone through the design process. So what I'm trying to walk you through is to give you a step-by-step introduction to this project so that in the future you might get an idea of the things that you're looking for in the project prompt. But you see how you have to read it and kind of find all this stuff? and why you have to read it a few times in order to get this stuff to sink into your head and get you to remember it? So,
It's 10 minutes.
all right, so let's go ahead and stop that.